So when you talk about gaming, people always associate it with performance. What are the kind of specs that we have on this phone right here? Do you mind if I have a look on the spec sheets? Says here, CPU type Octa-core, 4GB, whatever, man. If you're here to hear about spec sheets, I'm not your spec sheet reader guy, alright?
Shopee review, we check for you.
So now, let's talk about this modern day in this crazy world of technological advancement. Devices like laptops, smartphones, smartwatch, earphones, right? They're not getting any cheaper, man. Right? So that is why you get to see a lot of brands like Samsung, Xiaomi, Realme, OnePlus. They're really trying to break that market of lower budget devices, right? If you're like me, who I would consider as a cheapskate, right? Or someone who doesn't really have a huge amount of budget to spend. So this is why we're here today. We're gonna talk about Samsung's latest product, the Samsung Galaxy M12. So when you hear me say low budget phone, does it necessarily mean that it's bad? Well, not really, you know, there's a lot of good low budget phones outside these days, right? And Samsung is definitely not gonna miss out on that. So on paper, you get to see a lot of specification that they include in this phone that are really good specs. But does it really mean that it's really good? Which is why I was given the opportunity to play around with it for about 4 to 5 days, right? And I think I had quite a lot of fun with it, surprisingly. So I'm just gonna jump straight into what I really enjoy about this phone itself. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about Samsung, right, we cannot disregard the fact that Samsung produces one of the best display. The 6.5-inch Infinity V-Bezel-less display. For me, on a media consumption level, you know, not so. Because I've definitely seen Samsung produce a way better display than the ones that they put on this phone right here. This display is huge, but I myself, I like things to be really symmetrical. So when they don't make it symmetrical, like there's a notch here, and then there's a chin here, it feels kind of off. They have included a 720p display with 90 Hz refresh rate. For me, that is a bit of an odd combo, but all in all, it doesn't disrupt my daily usage of this phone. I still manage to use it as normal, you know. I still can consume media, it doesn't affect me as much. The experience on the screen and the display is just average. Not the best. For the next one, counting on you, Samsung, don't disappoint us. Alright, so we're gonna talk about the second main feature of this phone. Now, the reason why this bad boy is so thick is because it has a 5000 mAh battery. It has a 5000 mAh battery. Let's go, baby! It's a really big battery. Battery life, I feel like this thing is amazing. Entire day, I was playing around the camera. I also played games on it. I also try to watch YouTube. I also watch Twitch on it. By the end of the day, I'm still running at 30%. And I'm really shocked by that. Not only that, it's also equipped with 15 watts fast charging. So you can run out of juice really slow, but you can charge quickly. If I play long period of time of Mobile Legends. From 100%, I exit the phone after what, 6 to 7 games? I'm still running on 40+%. That is really battery life, right? And it doesn't heat up as much as well. So when you talk about gaming, people always associate it with performance. What are the kind of specs that we have on this phone right here? I don't remember exactly what it is. Do you mind if I have a look on the spec sheets? Says here, CPU speed 2 GHz, CPU type Octa-core, 4GB, whatever, man. If you're here to hear about spec sheets, I'm not your spec sheet reader guy, alright? Go to their website and go ahead and look at it yourself. I'm pretty sure they have the details over there. I'm here to talk about my personal experience of using it as an average consumer. That was the whole point of this show. Hello! My gaming experience on this beast, I think it was really good. The fact that Samsung included their Exynos 850 chipset, it's really amazing. The processing power, it doesn't overheat, it doesn't drain too much of your battery. All in all, the experience was just amazing. Smooth gameplay. It was really smooth. Nothing to complain about, really. But I'm glad Samsung didn't forget about one thing, right? They included the latest Android version and their latest One UI 3. right? So what is One UI 3? One UI is technically a skin, if you might say, a skin from Samsung, their own operating system on top of Android. So basically that's it. They just try to make things look a lot more simplified, and also the design to make it look a little bit more aesthetic, if you might say that way. One UI 3, you got it right. Aesthetic is nice, simplicity, minimalistic, I like it. With all the curved design of these icons, you cannot miss that part, man. Alright, so we're gonna talk about the highlight of this phone, right? The quad camera setup that we have built in, right? So you have your ultra wide lens over here, your macro lens over here, your portrait lens, and your standard main camera. Why are phones these days providing you with so much cameras on a phone, right? We used to rock a single lens. Now we have 4 lenses in our phone. Now a lot of people are improving in terms of content creation, right? You need a little bit of creative ways to spice things up. And that is why I feel like the best way to do it is put it on your phone, right? So now I was given the opportunity to play around with this for 4 to 5 days, and I get to test this camera hands-on. I feel like it was by far the best camera experience that I have ever gotten for maybe 4 to 5 years of trying out phones, right? And I'm gonna start off with talking about the ultra wide lens. It's just amazing, man. I really love ultra wide, you know, because I am currently using a single lens phone myself, and whenever I try to create a content like this, right, like this, I only get to see my own face. No one can see what's behind me, no one can see what's above me, what my hair looks like. It's just literally my face shoved into the camera. Now with ultra wide, your viewers basically get everything behind you. Now, how is that not a bonus, right? It just opens to a new realm of like content creation. So I get to test out the stabilization on the camera. The result that I got was not really, I would say really great, but dude, the price that you're paying for this, it's really well done. And if you're worried about stabilization, you can always do that in post-editing anyway, so yeah. Second one I want to talk about, the portrait lens, right? The portrait lens. We have the portrait lens, it just makes you look a whole lot better, man. A whole lot sexier, I would say. It's just the detail on the portrait is really well captured. I'm gonna put this one into test. I am gonna try it on my cameraman right here. Hafiz, you're gonna be the talent for now. So you're gonna have to bear with me, all right? So I'm gonna take a photo of him right now. Say cheese. Right now I can change the blur. Like this one has no blur, and I can max it all the way up until it looks super blurred. This feature, I like it. Everything just get kind of swirly. And another one, look at that edge. It's trying to detect the movement of my head, but if I were to take a photo right here, I can still change the background effect, like right now. Moving on to the next one, macro. I used to question, why do we need macro lens on cameras on our phones, right? I get it, if it's on a DSLR, I get it. But on a smartphone, why? Why do we need a macro lens? To put things to words, yet again, it's content creation, right? Macro lens give you the opportunity to look into the world that you have never seen. And I get to experiment with that feature, right? And I get to see little ants just scrambling around after they found out that I was recording them. I'm in front of a neighbor's house. I just asked her randomly just now whether I can take a photo of this beautiful flower that she has. So I'm gonna test out the macro lens this time. So here we go. We're gonna have to go to the macro mode. And I'm gonna bring it really close. Just you can see the details of this plant. Really beautiful. Now, even though I'm talking about this camera is really producing a lot of good images, I have to be honest with you. They're all 5 megapixels and below, except for the main camera. The main camera, it is 48 megapixel. Now, that's a lot of detail, if I were to be honest. A lot of crisp detail that you can capture within one photo, right? So I tried the standard camera, I tried the main camera. I was really blown away by the result. It's really amazing. I'm not gonna lie. The detail that you have, you can even see my pimples, man, which is, I don't like it, but I'm just gonna have to be honest about it, you know? It's 6:30 and it's still really bright. So right now, in order for me to try out the low light performance of this beast right here, we're gonna have to wait till it gets slightly darker. Alright, so right now it's already like 8 o'clock, right? And it's getting darker. I'm gonna test out the low light performance on this camera. Let's see whether the specs says it all right here. We're gonna focus right here. Alright, so right now, the subject on the main camera, right? Let's say if I were to use the 48 megapixel, it looks perfectly fine. The details are nice, but although I notice a little bit of overexposure in certain things, however, there is a downside when you start using the ultra-wide lens. Why, if you might ask? Why, Bryler? I thought you just complimented the ultra-wide lens. Well, ultra-wide is nice, but not when it's 5 megapixel, all right? All the details are gone. Literally, all you're getting is just noises. However, ultra-wide is ultra-wide, man. You get a whole lot of bigger view, right? Like I said, these things like the megapixels, it doesn't really matter because I have to be honest, Samsung's image processing is really, really well done. You know, even if you take like a bad photo, the image processing is able to capture that and try to process it for you, and it looks nice. For me, as a content creator, mainly for Instagram stories or even Twitter, right? I don't see any downsides for the price I pay for this phone, you know? It's a win for me. Well done, Samsung. So what is my overview on this phone? Who would I recommend it to? Who should buy this phone, right? From my personal opinion, it really depends on what you want from a phone. If you are really into cameras, this is the perfect phone. If you are really into long-lasting batteries as well, this is for you. And specifically for those who wants to get into the creative scene without spending too much on the budget, this is definitely the perfect phone for you guys. So that is it for me. That is my review on the Samsung Galaxy M12. Definitely stay tuned on this channel because the Shopee review.
Yeah, boss, we check for you.
You got it right there. Peace out.